is live at 5.
And welcome back. Andy Stadler is here for another Tuesday Tax Tip segment. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
As we said, 2 months from this Friday is when your taxes are due. It's April 18th this year because of the holiday in Washington, D.C. But I know a lot of people are wondering, what income is taxable? Because some income is not taxable,
That's
correct?
true. That is true. Child support's not taxable. Generally, if you get a scholarship from college, that's generally not taxable, but it could be. If you receive a gift or inheritance, that's usually not taxable. Workman's compensation, if you get hurt at work, that's not taxable. And if you're reimbursed for meals and lodging by your employer for their convenience, then that's not a taxable item either. If you get a rebate for purchasing a car or a washer or a dryer or something like that, that is not a taxable income. And then if you've adopted a child, generally those are not taxable either. There's basically most of the income you're going to receive would be taxable, but there's a short list of ones that are not taxable.
As far as the child support payments not being taxable, is that if you receive them or you give those payments to your ex-spouse?
That's as far as the receiver goes, it's not taxable to the receiver.
Okay.
And as far as the person paying it out to the ex-spouse,
it's a write-off?
No, it is not a write-off. It's not a write-off.
Okay, so you still have to pay that if you're giving the child support payments, not receiving them. Okay, what are some of the things that may be taxable but usually are not?
You know, life insurance usually is not taxable. However, there could be some situations where it could be. And again, going back to the college scholarships or grants, generally those are not taxable, but you may run into an occasion where they are. Definitely want to get with your tax advisor to make sure to see if any of that would be taxable for you.
Okay, so life insurance is not necessarily considered part of like the estate tax or the death tax where you're going to get taxed on that because someone has died?
Usually not,
okay.
But it depends on how the life insurance is paid out.
Okay. Another big question that people have as far as Social Security retirement or disability benefits from Social Security, how much of that is taxable and what is not taxable?
Boy, I've been getting this question a lot here lately. The Social Security is taxable if you're single and you have a total household income, including the Social Security, of more than $25,000, then it could become taxable. If you're married and your total household income between you and your spouse is more than $32,000, then it could become taxable. If you and your wife or your spouse are filing a separate returns, married but separate, then your Social Security is definitely taxable, 100% taxable. But I also get a question regarding Social Security and retirement, as not only is it taxable, but there's a lot of confusion about, you know, I'm 65 years old, so I don't have to pay taxes on my Social Security any longer. That's really, it's very confusing. And what that means once you hit 65 is you no longer have a restriction on wage income. It has really nothing to do with taxability. It has everything to do with how much earnings you can make. So a lot of people get those two rules confused all the time, as far as how much can I earn from Social Security and when does it become taxable.
And as far as you're talking about those different levels of how much money you're making with Social Security benefits, does that include like any dividends you may have from other retirement sources or other part-time income? It
does. It includes your entire household income,
okay.
Your wages, your dividends, if you have rental property, everything combined. If it's more than $25,000 as a single person, then it would be taxable or it could start becoming taxable.
All right, property tax is always a hot issue. What can be deducted as far as property taxes?
Up to $1,000 on the federal return. The first $1,000 you pay on property taxes, that's an additional state federal return you get a write-off. State of Indiana automatically gives this to you as a write-off up to $2,500. So you can get it in both places. Be sure to look for that. That's a big, nice deduction, extra deduction you get just simply because you paid your property tax.
Okay. I've been trying to keep up with Andy Stadler, reading some different tax articles to try to have a intelligent conversation as far as my end. I read an article that said the U.S. tax code is longer than the Bible. Is that true?
It definitely is, by many volumes. It is the largest.
That's unbelievable.
Yes.
So the current U.S. tax code, longer than the Bible.
I attend school for about 3 months out of the year just to keep current on everything.
I was going to say, so if you are wondering, maybe I could go ahead and dig through all the tax code and try to find all the deductions myself. You probably don't recommend that for people. Get with a professional who knows the tax code and knows it like the Bible, right?
Exactly.
How is that possible that it's gotten that large, and how does someone keep up with the tax code when it's longer than the Bible?
It's difficult. You have to, as a professional, it's something I have to continually educate and be reading and studying all the time. As an individual, I think it's nearly impossible. There's a lot of code to it. Congress gets elected each year, and every new Congress wants to change things around. Every new president changes things around, so it's changing all the time on top of
They
the
always
code.
add things, but they never take things out of the tax code usually, right?
Yeah, that's normally the case.
Okay, that's why it is longer than the Bible. And if you have any more questions for Andy, call his Terre Haute office at 478-2800, or the toll-free number is 800-447-2015. For more on their services, go to mywabashvalley.com and click on the Valley Expert page. Andy, good to see you.
Pat, thank you.
And now here's